Corinne's SUV screeched into the cul-de-sac like she owned the entire street. Her heels clicked aggressively on the concrete as she stormed toward the playground. The sun glared off her oversized sunglasses, but it couldn't hide the fury in her eyes. "What is going on here?" she barked, voice sharp enough to make other parents turn their heads. On the swings, two black twins, Jamal and Jaden, laughed as they tried to push each other higher. Their small feet kicked against the sand, oblivious to the storm about to descend. Corinne's children, Emily and Luke, froze mid-laugh, sensing the tension. Corinne pointed a manicured finger at the twins. "Step away from my kids. I don't know where you've been, who your parents are, or what kind of germs you're bringing." Her tone didn't just convey concern. It radiated control, entitlement, and aggression. The other parents shifted uncomfortably, some clutching their phones, unsure if they should intervene. Jamal's face scrunched in confusion. "We're just playing, ma'am. We're not hurting anyone." But Corinne wasn't listening. She leaned down so her face was inches from Jamal's, venom dripping from every word. "Don't talk to me like that. You don't belong here with my children." Her voice carried over the entire playground. The twins' laughter faltered, replaced with a mix of fear and disbelief. Emily tugged at her mother's hand. "Mom, they're just kids. Let's play together." Corinne whirled around, glaring at Emily as if her own daughter had betrayed her. "I said no. I will not let you touch them. Not here, not ever." Her grip on Luke's wrist tightened. He whimpered, trying to protest. The twins' mother, a tall, dignified woman named Monique, stepped forward. Her voice was calm but steady. "Ma'am, they are children playing. There's no harm here. Please step back." Corinne's lips curled into a sneer. "Step back. Don't you dare tell me what to do. Keep your children away from mine or I will call the police. Do you understand?" Monique's eyes blazed. "You don't get to dictate who my children play with. That's not your decision. You're being aggressive for no reason. Step aside now." Corinne's face turned red, her nostrils flaring. "Aggressive? I'm protecting my children. You don't know them. I have every right." Her words were cut off by a sudden eruption from the twins. Jamal, shaking but defiant, yelled, "We're not doing anything wrong. Leave us alone." That was the spark. Corinne's scream split the air. "How dare you yell at me? I will have you punished. You're out of line." She reached for her phone, dialing 911 with trembling hands, her aggression now escalating into panic. Parents gathered around, sensing the drama tipping out of control. One neighbor whispered, "She's gone too far." Another nodded, quietly recording the confrontation. Monique stepped closer, her voice rising but controlled, commanding attention. "Listen carefully. My children are not yours to control. They have every right to play and laugh just like any other kids. You are harassing them. Step aside now." Corinne's gaze darted around, realizing she was no longer the only authority on the playground. She paused, visibly shaking with anger. You don't know who I am. But before she could finish, Luke tugged free from her grip, running to the twins. Emily hesitated, caught between fear and the desire to follow. Jamal held out his hand, offering friendship despite the chaos. Corinne shrieked, sprinting toward them. "Emily, Luke, come back right now." Her voice cracked, blending rage and panic. But it was too late. Her children had touched the twins, laughter mingling with tears, creating a surreal defiance that pierced Corinne's fury. The police arrived, alerted by Corinne's frantic 911 call. Two officers approached, eyes assessing the situation. Corinne immediately launched into a tirade. "These children, these kids, are trespassing my parental rights, they." The officers calmly intervened. "Ma'am, it seems the children were simply playing. We don't see any harm. Please step aside." Corinne's jaw dropped. Her entitlement collided with reality. This is. Monique stepped forward, holding Jamal and Jaden close. "See, nothing wrong here. Now leave our children alone." The officers nodded, and Corinne, realizing her authority had crumbled, stormed back to her SUV. Her grip on the door was tight, knuckles white, but the confrontation was over. The twins, shaken but triumphant, resumed their play, this time joined by Emily and Luke, who had finally broken free of their mother's control. Corinne sat in her car, fists pounding the steering wheel, screaming in frustration. Outside, the twins' laughter filled the playground, echoing like defiance in the face of aggression. It was an emotional victory for the children, an affirmation that no adult's prejudice could dictate their freedom to play, to be friends, to be themselves. Hours had passed, but the playground still buzzed with life. Jamal and Jaden swung higher and higher, laughter ringing out like a challenge to anyone who thought they could control it. Emily and Luke joined them, tiny hands gripping chains, faces lit with joy and defiance. Karen sat in her SUV, engine off, fists still clenched, eyes narrowing at the scene she could no longer influence. Every laugh, every shout, every carefree moment of play felt like a direct affront to her control, yet she could do nothing. Monique knelt beside her twins, brushing sand from their clothes. "You were brave today," she said softly. "You didn't let fear stop you. You stood up for yourselves, and you showed them that kindness and courage can't be bullied away." The twins beamed, eyes sparkling with pride. Emily tugged at Karen's sleeve, ignoring the angry glare. "Mom, they're not scary. They're just kids. Can't we just be friends?" Karen's face twitched, a mix of disbelief, fury, and somewhere deep inside, a flicker of shame. She opened her mouth, but no words came. Her authority had crumbled, her threats had failed, and the laughter outside was stronger than her anger. The officer who had arrived earlier approached, shaking his head subtly. "Ma'am, sometimes the best way to protect children is to let them be children. They're safe. No one is in danger." Karen gripped the steering wheel, silent, her chest heaving. She wanted to yell, to reassert control, but something in her faltered. The world outside the SUV window was moving without her permission. The twins' laughter, the children's joy, the freedom she could not dictate, it all existed without her consent. Finally, she turned the key in the ignition and drove away, leaving the playground behind, leaving her fury behind, though it would simmer for some time. The children continued to play, untouchable and resilient, their laughter echoing long after the SUV disappeared down the street. Monique wrapped an arm around her twins. "You see," she said softly, no one can take your joy from you. Not fear, not anger, not anyone who tries to control you." Jamal and Jaden hugged her tightly, Emily and Luke joining them. In that embrace, the tension of the day melted away. The playground was no longer just a place for swings, it was a testament to courage, friendship, and the refusal to be silenced by aggression. Karen's anger would remain, but outside in the warmth of the afternoon sun, laughter and love triumphed. The twins had not just survived, they had won. And for a fleeting, perfect moment, the world belonged to the children, to their courage, and to the joy that could never be stolen.